So the last time I tried to review a flight of Armenian fruit brandies, they kind of knocked me on my ass, and there's a reason for that. Fruit brandies, fruit EdVs, especially as you find them in the U.S., tend to be underpresented, particularly in terms of bottling strength. There seems to be like a rule or something that everything has to be, as close to 40% as you can get it. It's really rare to find something at 45%, 50%. There's a couple of Slivovitzes out there floating around 50, but that's usually about the best you will ever see. Maybe the producers just think it's all going to be, weirdos in Wisconsin who are serving the stuff straight from the freezer, and they don't want to be scared off by anything at too high a proof. Armenia did not get that memo. They did not hear that rule, and so what you tend to find is stonking high bottling strengths on their fruit brandies. The weakest thing on this table today is at 50% alcohol by volume. That's the weakest thing on the table. And I think that's great. Some emergency vehicles. I think that's terrific. And so, what we are going to do today is review some, I wouldn't say totally unusual EdVs, but, less common. We're going to do some apricot brandies and some mulberry brandies, because mulberry is kind of it's becoming my favorite fruit for EdVs. What am I doing here? Okay, so what do we got? We have two producers here. I've done Kensatu and some others in the past, but today we are doing Mijnaberd and Artsakh. And because of the way I'm organizing this, it's going to be like an Artsakh sandwich. We're going to start and end with Artsakh. I do not know anything about these folks, either producer. I'll put down what I can tell you in the notes. But they distill fruit brandies. And they use synthetic corks, which are, in this case, not very good. Come on. Already the Armenian fruit brandy video is going off the rails. Aging, I think these are all 3 years old, at least the aged ones. And then, of course, there's a couple that are just straight from the still. And that's all these things bottled, or all these things poured. I'm sorry. Let's go. All right, so we've got these two apricot brandies from the different brands, and then these three mulberry brandies. And I'm just going to walk up roughly in order of increasing strength with a little stutter right here. All right, starting out with the Artsakh Apricot Brandy at 50% alcohol by volume. A spirit of extraordinary flavor distilled from Armenian apricots in accordance with ancient traditions. Sounds great. On the nose. Oh, already it starts well. Okay. So yeah, apricot, but you have to know something about apricot brandy, which is it can tend very austere. Apricot brandy can push into a really herbal, aggressive territory, which I'm kind of into sometimes, but it can be a lot. This is not that. This is like fresh, clean, beautiful, fruity, happy apricot. It's like you just open up a bag of Trader Joe's dried apricots and mash them all into your nose. I don't know how they all fit, but they did. Yeah, like just clean as a whistle. There's some florals going on here. There's some orange blossoms maybe. A touch of cornelian cherry in this actually, which isn't really a cherry. I learned that. after having reviewed it as a cherry brandy before. Even a little bit of Mijnaberd plum in there. Is there a little bit of herbaceousness? Yeah, you can kind of pick out a little bit of like an oregano thing in there, but really it just smells like big, beautiful, vivid apricot goodness. And I like that on the palate. These aren't expensive either. These are all... I bought these from Remedy, and they're going to run out of stock at some point. But for now, these are all pretty cheap for what they are. Oh. This is kind of a gem. A little bit. Like, I expect, again, I have an expectation to be beaten up a little bit by my apricot brandies because they tend to be so austere, so herbaceous and brutal sometimes. This is not that. It does bring, there's a little bit of like a mineral citrusy snap on the back end of this. To remind you that it's serious, but this is very, very approachable by the standards of the style. Yeah. Oh, beautiful apricot goodness. Happy apricots up front. Expanding once again into like Mijnaberd plum. Yeah, mostly Mijnaberd, along with the apricot, of course. Kind of into the mid-palate and the finish. Some flowers. Mostly blossoms again. A little bit of like a citrus peel thing. Mixed citrus peel. A touch of oregano. Oh, some rocks. There's a little bit of a wet gravel thing to this. I mean, like a lot of EdVs, it doesn't bring a huge, broad range of notes to it. But the notes it's bringing like with clarity and purity and intensity. That's really nice. I like that a lot, especially for the money. Jeez. Okay. One. Give it 2 squirts. Come back to it. All right. Moving on to the Mijnaberd Reserve Fruit Brandy Apricot Premium Class, aged 3 years. I believe this is Armenian oak. I'll double check that. And you can tell the difference. I mean, this borderline smells like a rum. This isn't the apricot brandy, right? I didn't mispour this. Yeah, wow. Okay, so if you handed this to me and told me that this was a molasses-based, roughly Cuban-style rum from somewhere unusual, I would believe you. It's got a little bit of that on the nose. I'm getting some vanillas, some cola notes. Yeah, like Coca-Cola syrup in there. Even a little bit of like a used pencil kind of thing. So you're getting the woody part, but you're also getting like the dirty eraser thing. So yeah, I mean, hand this to me, straight off. I'm thinking, oh, is this a column distilled molasses-based rum? And from there, it gets a little bit weird. You maintain some of the Mijnaberd from the Artsakh. Yeah, there's apricot in there, but it's like almost like a candied apricot, like a caramel covered apricot or something, like an apricot you've covered in like a caramel drizzle and your like soda syrup. really kind of fascinating I'm not sure if I'm enjoying the nose more than the Artsakh, but it's certainly it's food for thought. Some white pepper, a little bit of like a tea leaf element, but it's hard to. It's like a mix of maybe some black tea with a little bit of oolong in there. Yeah, interesting. I'm not sure if I'm completely convinced by the nose. It's more so I'm just fascinated by the little different directions that it's going. On the palate, %. Did I mention that? Which is pretty good. It's a lot of fun. I mean, I don't like it as much as the Artsakh, first of all. But I think this is worth buying anyways, just because it's very, very interesting. It's like it's under $40. Same kind of energy vibe on the palate as on the nose. In lots of ways, this really presents like I'm drinking a rum, a Cuban-style rum from somewhere that is absolutely not Cuba, like from, I don't know, Thailand or something. You're getting cola notes, cola cubes, little cream soda. The kind of used pencils thing. Even a little bit of banana, actually. On there, vanillas, but then you have got your apricot and your Mirabelle plum thing, the citrus peel thing, a lot of the stuff that's coming from the Artsakh, some lime peel, lemon peel kind of stuff. A little hint of green, like a little bit of like a dill thing. Blossoms, flowers again. Really, it's not great, but it's really interesting. It kind of gives me ideas for where you could go with the style in the future. Like if this stayed in the cask for a few more years, you could bring this to a rum event, slam it down on the table, and blow everyone's mind. And there's some rocks on the back end of this too. Just more wet rocks, wet gravel, nothing special. So yeah, so far, Artsakh is winning, but I'm going to give this some water. We'll come back to it. Really, really interesting though. Like 2.5 scores. Let's see if that's good. I'll leave it there. And we'll leave it there. Let us move on to the mulberries, because mulberry is kind of my favorite spirits category. My favorite fruit for eau de vie. Not my favorite overall spirits category. That would be Mar. Mijnaberd Mulberry, and I am giggling like an idiot because of the way this smells. Oh my god. I mean, it smells so juicy and just obnoxiously vivid. It's like I mean if you've never if you don't live in Chicago and you've never just randomly found a mulberry tree and pulled some off and just ate it, you're kind of missing out. This really smells like you just mashed up a bunch of Chicago mulberries and kind of smelled them. It's close to fig, but it's like juicier than but at the same time more seedy than fig is. So yeah, you can just use fig as a tasting note if you like. Lots of juicy fig, but also some seediness in there. Kind of seeds, like I want to say sunflower seeds, but that's not right. It's more like the smaller seeds. What am I thinking of? Like there's a little bit of a poppy seed thing. Yeah, like juicy mashed up figs, if you like, that something like that, plus some poppy seeds. Ooh, and like a little bit of a mineral note in there too. It's everything is overwhelmed by the juiciness of the mulberry, but there's like a chalky minerality thing. Citrus flowers, like orange flowers. And that's really all that's going on here. It's not, again, it's not a huge broad range of flavors, but man, the flavor that is there, which is mulberry, like smashed up, mashed up mulberry, is so vivid that that's all it needs to be doing on the palate. Interesting. On the palate, this is actually more austere than the apricot is, which is not what I was expecting. I was expecting this Artsakh to be like the really austere hardcore one. No. This one is kind of more of a fighter. So it arrives on your juicy mulberry substitute fig if you've never tasted mulberry before. That kind of grainy, seedy thing. And then you get a big explosion of flowers, blossoms, wildflowers. And then it gets kind of herbal and chalky on the back end, in a nice way. We're bringing like, I don't know, dried provincial herbs that have been tossed in like a couple of pebbles and some chalk, some just spare chalk, you know, from your local powerlifting gym. Nice. I mean, in terms of quality, this is way better than the aged apricot for me. This is fun. It's a thinker, the aged apricot is, but it isn't scratching the fruit brandy itch for me as well as this is, the mulberry. Certainly not the best mulberry brandy I've ever had, but yeah, it's lovely. All right, let's get some water. Also 50% ABV. I apologize, I should have said that. And let's move on to the aged version of that. Mijnaberd Reserve Fruit Brandy, aged 3 years, mulberry premium class, 53% ABV. On the nose. Ooh. What are you? Okay. Okay, so I mean, so the apricot Mijnaberd smelled a lot like a rum. This smells like a refill sherry cask malt whiskey, specifically from the Highlands. Probably like the Inverness Highlands. There's a lot of orange on this. You're really, really intense. It's a mix of like straight up. Well, there's a little bit of navel orange, but there's also some blood orange, and there's some Mirabelle plum. Wow, really just aged Mijnaberds. I mean, something over there. They're making great examples of non-fruit brandies, of anything but fruit brandies, in their aged expressions. I mean, it's Yeah, it's orangey, but it's also like orange pith. It's the bitter part of the orange in there. I am getting, I'm getting mulberry. Well, really more fig than mulberry, but it's like dried fig. That kind of seediness, the little poppy seedy thing. Vanilla, a little bit. Really orangey though. Interesting. Some cinnamon, a little bit of clove, cardamom. Like mashed apple and pear. Yeah, I mean, this really could be like a Ball Blair or something, and I would believe you. I really would. Except it's still got the little chalky thing, which is unusual. That might give it away. A little bit of that herbaceousness, the kind of dried herbs thing. Fascinating. On the palate. This is way better. Wow. Kind of snuck up on me there. Like I kind of lost. I got lost in thought because I noticed that all the importers are the same on these bottles. Importers direct wholesale in Glendale, California. I kind of got distracted and I didn't notice how good this was until like it was kind of passing me by. Hold on, one more time. Jesus, total steal. I don't know what this tastes like, but the quality is really, really darn high on this. Arrives on really intense mix of fig and like blood orange and mulberry. And some Mirabelle, not mulberry. I mean mulberry too. Oh, but this doesn't get exciting until the mid palate when it just kind of explodes into flowers. Orange blossoms, a little bit of rose actually, and more citrusy notes. Some like apple pear, almost nectarine-y juiciness. The vanillas, some really nice woody notes. I mean, yeah, it's you would never on the palate mistake this for a sherried whiskey, but I can tell you for a fact, if you were a fan of like sherried whiskeys that tend more towards the fruity side of things, so not the Glendronach fans, you gotta leave the room. I'm sorry. Tamdu fans, you gotta leave the room. But like Glenfarclas fans, Aberlour fans, you might want to try this. This is kind of legit. Under $40. Holy cow. Okay, yeah, this is legit. I will add some water to that. I'm still tasting it. The finish is crazy. The mouth presence is, I mean, this is some serious stuff. I'll add like half a squirt more and be done. Wow. Okay. That's not just a good fruit brandy. Like that is something I could like hand to normal people, like normal spirits nerds who do not care about Armenia at all. And they would be into that. They would be able to connect to that immediately. All right. That's It's going to be hard for the Artsakh Mulberry Gold to beat that. But it has a chance because it's 57% alcohol by volume. This is a mulberry brandy. It is 3 years old. And this is what kind of sold me on this. It was aged in mulberry tree barrels. So that color, that is not from oak. That is from mulberry wood. So mulberry brandy aged in mulberry. I'm excited. Okay. Aromatically smells dark and like, It smells like I just took one of my daughter's like juice boxes, you know, the little lunch juice boxes, those things, full of grape juice, and just smashed it. And this is kind of what it smells like. It smells like a big old mess of like grape juice for small children. But then dark. There's like this kind of ashy note to this, like a darker stoved Virginia tobacco. There is some fruit. I'm getting some juicy mulberry fig stuff. Maybe like some toasted orange peel. It feels much more like dark and kind of ashy than the previous ones. But the overwhelming impression is like mashed juice for small children. But nice. I like the ashiness. There's a little bit of minerality. There's some rocks there as well. Subtle, what is that? Almost like a little bit of, it's not quite orange. It's more like orange soda. So like maybe you put a little, like a little squirt of orange soda into that grape juice mess you've just made. That's about the best I can do with this. It smells serious on the palate. God damn, the aged mulberry brandies are coming for me today. Oh. Also really good. Wow. Much more serious. I mean, serious is not the right word. Has a lot more tannins and grip to it than the previous one. This is throwing me some things. It's very like grape candied chew. It like there's a little bit of like a grape fruit roll up thing to this, which is fun. Yeah. Ooh, totally grapefruit roll up. But that's not all there is. There's some fig. There's some prune. There's a streak of some kind of oranginess. It's again that same mix of maybe like blood orange and Mirabelle plum that I was getting on some of these others. But then there's some tobaccos on this, some earthiness. I could see Armagnac fans getting it, or even people who like really, really woody cognacs. Like Daniel Beaulieu fans, come on over. Like this is under $40. And then there's some like fruit astringency that kind of comes down the back of this, which I really like. That poppy seedy thing. Some rocks. This is awesome. I'm not sure if it beats the Mijnaberd on this, but I'm really happy to have both of these. This is kind of great. And just the black pepper and the tobacco on the finish. Again, we're kind of rolling Black Cavendish, Stoved Virginia's darker stuff, sweeter stuff. This is a terrific flight. I like these. I like these a lot. 3, 4. That might be enough. Go one, like half a squirt more. I want to overdo it. Okay. So where are we? I thought when I was going through these that the unaged were going to run away with this. I'm not sure if they are now. I'm pretty sure the Mijnaberd Apricot, the aged one, is not going to win this. This is probably at my bottom right now. And the others I quite like. Let's go run through these one more time. We'll give them some scores. Back to the Artsakh Apricot. Glorious. I mean, it's just such a beautiful example of apricot at its happiest, which is really not that common. Again, in our apricot brandy, it's quite nice. I'm getting a little bit of like a key lime character in this now. Even a little bit of like a, what is that? Like an erasable markers kind of thing. Otherwise the same. It's really big, beautiful, vibrant apricot stuff on the palate. Just really good quality, like apricot eau de vie. That's what this is. Lots of development? No, not so much. It's about where it was on the palate. But yeah, in terms of doing what it needs to do, it tastes like apricot. It's juicy. It's delicious. It's not challenging me. Like it's not fighting me like I was expecting it to. Mouth presence is good. Finish is sticking around. Texture is pretty nice. Could be a little bit better. Even the mouth length is pretty good. This is tickling my tonsils a little bit. I'm delighted by this. I can't go crazy. I think this is like 85 territory. But that's a strong 85. I'm considering giving it a plus. I won't. You know what? Instead of a plus, let's give it a happy face. Because this is the unusual example of an apricot eau de vie that is just... It's happy. It's a happy apricot brandy. 85, happy face. And that is the Artsakh done and dusted. Moving on. See if this has come around. The Mijnaberd Apricot, 3-year-old. It's so rummy. If anything, it's gotten like more... Cuban-style rum with the addition of water. It's got enough of that little hints of like Mirabelle and apricot and chalkiness in there to kind of give it away as something weird. But yeah, I mean, this is... You could totally prank people in a blind tasting with this on the palate. I think it loses a step with water. I'm still enjoying the rummy aspects of it. Yeah, it's a pretty good Cuban-style rum, all in all. But water does bring out a little bit more of the pepperiness than I would like. It gets a little bit too peppery for me, and it feels a little bit more thin than I like now. I want to add a rum emoji to this, but I don't think YouTube has a rum emoji. So, what am I going to score this? Call it an 84 minus, because I don't think it likes the water. 84 minus parentheses rum out of 100. Because, yeah, that's kind of what it is. Like, this is... Those of you who have been looking for a reasonably inexpensive, higher proof Cuban-style rum to put into Cuba Libres and stuff, buy an apricot brandy instead. 84 minus, parentheses rum, out of 100. I can't have like a Cuban flag or something to this, can I? No. I don't think YouTube allows flags. All right, moving on. Mijnaberd Mulberry. Oh, it's so juicy. Yeah, I mean, in my brain, I am picturing Biggie Smalls just having a big old, wine glass of this while he's recording. Like that, it's that juicy. That is the character of this. Oh God, figs, mulberries, more mulberries, just mashed up in your face. I love it. Not development from before. No, doesn't matter. On the palate. I mean, it's funny because going back, after the apricot in close proximity kind of brings out some shortcomings in this. It's a little bit short in the mouth. We're not getting any tonsil tickling with this. It's pretty good otherwise. The finish is holding on. The texture is pretty good. But in terms of I do like the juiciness of this Mijnaberd. I really do. But in terms of a complete beast, I do think the Artsakh Apricot is better. No, not by much. Oh, damn, it's close. Hold on. Tell you what, this is the difference. The Artsakh has more going on the back end. It's hitting my tonsils. It's hitting my lungs a little bit. This has much more, power on the arrival, on the front end. I don't know. They're both very good. I do like it's the mulberry one, but it's like this is the more austere of the two unaged examples. I'm going to take a pull from the bottle to see if I liked it better before. You know what? I liked it better before. So we're just going to give this an 85 minus because I think it's not a big minus. It's a little teeny tiny minus. It's the smallest minus I can write. But, yeah, I just need something to split these two up. And so I'm going to call this an 85 minus. Moving on to the Mijnaberd Mulberry 3-year-old, which is the one I found very, sherried Balblair. And we're still kind of in that territory. Now it's starting to bring out more like orange pith, some astringent fruitiness. Oh. But yeah, this is still something I could hand to like Glenfarclas fans, and they would appreciate it, because I mean the orange character is really out of control in a good way. In a good way. There's some apple, pear stuff, peach, but also slightly minerally, a little bit herbaceous. I don't know. Good nose. Not a whole lot of development, but oh well. On the palate. Oh. Damn, I will tell you what. I was not expecting these two aged brandies to show up so much. I was kind of expecting to give the highest score to one of the unaged examples, and I don't think I will, because this is fabulous. Jesus. Really fun arrival on fruity deliciousness, and then it just explodes into flowers and pepper and a little bit of tobacco-y stuff. And then it's just grip, grip, grip. Finish does not let go. I mean, this is... I can't go to the stratosphere with this, but this is absolutely like... Is this like 86 or 87 territory? Probably 86. Yep, let's go with that. 86 points out of 100. And for the price and for the style, absolutely worth a grab. I mean, totally killer. Damn, Armenia. Okay, but we still have one more mulberry brandy left to go. It's the Artsakh, aged in mulberry wood. And yeah, I don't know what it smells like. A small children juice accident is what it smells like, with some like campfire ash and some tobacco thrown in there. Yep, that's about it on the palate. Y'all, look, you have to understand. I want you people, you folks watching this, to go out and explore new things. And so I try to seek out, weird stuff to taste out. Like, I'll be like, hey, let's go try some random grappas and things. And so often it's the case. I will put the things down, I will pour them, and I will review them, and they just kind of fall flat a little bit. They don't perform to the point where I can actually get you excited about this stuff. These things are showing up. Armenia is showing up today. Oh. Truth be told, I might have overwatered this. I think I like this better without water. But man, the combination of grapefruit roll-up, mulberry, fig, prune, delicious ashiness, darker tobaccos, black pepper, spicy stuff, Christmas spices, in my mouth is really impressive for this price point. Ooh. There's a little bit of like a numbing thing, like a clove element to this. I mean, this is fabulous too. Is it beating the Mijnaberd? Let me try this again. I think they're right there. I think this is an 86 too. Yeah. Damn. 86 points. And yeah, also really fabulous. And so that is your lineup. So in last place with an 84 minus parentheses rum is the Mijnaberd Apricot 3-year-old. Really presents like it's from Cuba with like a little bit of weirdness thrown in. Certainly not my favorite of the tasting, but almost worth the grab just for the uniqueness of this profile. Or you can throw it into Cuba Libres all day long. And then 85 minus the Mijnaberd Mulberry unaged, which is, I mean, it is so vividly mulberry on the nose, and I adore it and I love it. I do think I liked it better without water. It is the more austere of these two unaged examples, which is a little bit funny because of how apricot tends to be. Apricot from Artsakh, 85 Happy Face. Hard for me to think of a more friendly example of Apricot Brandy, which tends to be on the tougher side. And then tied for best, the Mijnaberd Mulberry aged 3 years and the Artsakh Mulberry aged 3 years. Different profiles. This leans more armagnac-y. This leans more, refilled sherry Highlander. But I think both fabulous. Really both worth having. And yeah, that is the video. Thank you, Armenia. Good job. Thanks for watching and cheers.